Well, I'm Beth Jacobson.
I'm Pam Lathrop.
And we are filming the October edition of the Beloit Today Show. We borrowed Norma Vargas's pumpkin from DPW, and you'll be interviewing Norma?
I will be. She's going to be telling us about fall yard waste. Actually, I'm sure that would include what to do with your leftover pumpkins when the season is over.
That's right. We have a lot going on. Who else am I? Oh, I'm interviewing Andy Hill about the Shoreline Stabilization along Riverside Park. We've gotten lots of questions about it at City Hall, and now you'll know, so stay tuned.
And I'll be going over to the library and interviewing the new library director, Nate Dupree.
Yes.
Pronounce that right.
Yes.
Spelled differently, but...
And he is very enthusiastic, and we're so happy to have him on board. And then we'll finish with I'll interview Larry Arff, our boss, about some of the economic development things that are happening in the city. We have a lot going on, and there's always things happening. I'm sure you've seen the construction, and so we'll give you guys the scoop.
Okay, so stay tuned. And don't decorate your pumpkins while you're watching us, because we don't want anybody to cut their finger.
That's right.
All right. Well, we have a new face on camera today. This is Nate Dupree. He's with the Beloit Public Library. He's the new executive director. I guess it's not so new anymore, is it?
It started June 10th.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we kind of let you get into the job and see what's going on before we interviewed you.
Mm-hmm.
So now, introduce yourself. Tell our viewers where you're from.
Okay, well, I'm Nate Dupree. I grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Graduated from UW Green Bay with a master's degree from UW Milwaukee. Previous to this, for the last 8.5 years, I was the director of the Osceola Public Library, about 300 miles north of here, on the Minnesota-Wisconsin border.
And you said that Osceola is quite a bit smaller than Beloit.
Yeah, Osceola has a population of about 2,700. Our library had a service population somewhere around 7,000, so yeah, significantly smaller.
Sure, and we probably get 27 patrons in here in a week, right?
Yeah. Well,
At
yeah,
least.
there are significant differences. It's the thing that saves me is we have the core services that both libraries provided are the same. We just do a whole lot more here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're really excited that you came and that you're with us now. I'm sure you have great visions for the library.
Yeah. Well, the library is a changing place. E-books and so forth have really kind of changed a lot of our service model. And I view the library as much as a community gathering point as anything else. And going forward, that's it will continue to be the library's role to make the lives of people in our community better, and that's the key thing. And what I try to bring to my view of library services is I want to create an environment where people feel comfortable and welcome and safe. And if we do that, things like program attendance and book circulation, they really just sort of take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that the library always has new programs and new changes all the time. I just love to come in the library, especially I always have to browse the books that you have for sale. The Fable Group, is that
Yep.
who does that?
Yes, yeah. The Fable is our friends in the library here.
Mm-hmm. So you're working with all kinds of new groups and people and getting to know us in Beloit. So.
The Beloit Public Library is in a very good position in that it has a very strong friends group in Fable, and then we also have a foundation. Most libraries have one or the other. It's rare to have both, and that's two very strong advocates and funding sources for our library going forward.
Oh, that's interesting. And we are part of the whole Arrowhead Library group, and that's new to you too, right?
Yeah, Arrowhead is a one-county system. I was previously part of the Indian Head Federated Library System, which was like a 10-county system. It's a little more impersonal when you're part of a larger system like that. This is the thing that's very nice about Arrowhead is it is directly tied in with county government, and so it's a little more responsive that way.
Mm-hmm. Good, and we do get funding sources?
Oh, yeah. A portion of the library's funds comes from our services to rural patrons. one of the things that I'm hoping to do is grow our outreach to rural patrons, which should have an impact on library funding as well.
Mhm. And I know that when you talk about the funding, your budget is not really part of the whole city's budget.
Well,
It's a different budgeting system, right? You have a board.
Well, yeah, we do have a library board. We are a department of the city. There, by state statute, there are separations between how cities function and how libraries function. It's I am hired and report to a library board. I obviously we try to work as closely and as best as we can with city government, but there are some barriers between the two, and that can work for and against the library depending on how well the library director and city government work together.
Mhm. Well, I know you come over to City Hall all the time and attend all the department head meetings, so, I mean, you're part of us. And,
Yeah.
and I know we're straying away, I guess, a little bit from getting to know you, because now we're talking about
okay.
budgets and things. But how do you like Beloit?
I do like
big
Beloit.
adjustment?
I do like Beloit quite a bit. I'm still getting to know the area. I found myself accidentally in Illinois at least once a week before. I'm getting better about that, and getting to know the community, local restaurants. My fiance and I are exploring. We love your farmers market here, and I'm very excited for the Beloit International Film Festival this winter. And I think there are a lot of amazing features to this area, and coming from, I lived on a farm before this, so it was. It's nice to see that there's so many agricultural ties to this community as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you're so enthusiastic. I know you're bringing a lot of enthusiasm to support all the programs that the library has going, and I know you'll be starting some of your own programs.
I am. I got to do my first story time last week, which was fantastic. And this winter we have a few things on that we're working on with a mock Caldecott workshop for children and adults. And then we also want to do a music discussion group that we want to start in the new year, where, like a traditional book group, except we're going to take a piece of music, like an album, and then discuss that as if it were a book.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, I think that we're going to tease people and stop right there. And then we're going to have to come back and interview someone from Library More to talk about the music discussion group. That's great.
All right.
Sounds like very interesting things coming up. And how can people get a hold of the library if they want questions or a library card? What should they call?
Well, you can certainly give us a call anytime, or visit our website, which is beloitlibrary.info, and our phone number is. We'll have someone scroll that across the screen, because if we tell people, they won't have a pencil right away anyways. But please do get involved. Come to the library, stop by. I'm sure you'll see Nate downstairs sometimes. Right now we're in his office, which is one of his favorite quiet spots in the library. But, and the library's evolving. You don't have to be so quiet anymore. You'll have a little. No, we're trying to whisper-proof this building.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Happy to do it anytime.
Okay.
Hi, I'm here with the man who needs no introduction. This is Larry Arff, the city manager of Beloit. And Larry's here today to talk about some of the wonderful things that are happening in Beloit. We always hear that the economy's slow and nothing's happening, and that's not the case in Beloit.
It is not the case in Beloit. Thank you very much, Beth. Yeah, it has been an incredible year. Commercial construction, industrial construction, and remodeling projects, and an amazing amount of institutional construction, led off, of course, by the complete remodeling, building additions, and soon to be starting a new intermediate school. But the school system in Beloit, as a result of the bond issue success, has 8 buildings under construction, some of which are finished now. Others are in the earlier stages or middle stages of reconstruction. But it's a phenomenal investment in the city's school infrastructure. And of course, Beloit Hospital, Beloit Health Systems, has their new cancer treatment center, which is a joint project with the University of Wisconsin system. That's under construction out of Milwaukee. And people will see commercial construction going on everywhere, from the beautiful new Phoenix building downtown, the U.S. Cellular building out on Milwaukee Road. There's a new Clark service station under construction.
Sure.
Woodman's projects out on Madison Road,
Well,
pretty much anywhere you turn.
Yeah, let's back up a little bit. So the school system alone is keeping our staff
Yes.
pretty busy in
That is
planning.
correct.
So the school district has all of these schools where there's plans and blueprints that are going through. And then on top of that, we have this huge cancer care center. And then these other ones that we have a list here of. I think the one we get the most questions about are Piggly Wiggly. Can you tell us an update on Piggly Wiggly?
Give you an update on Piggly Wiggly, and we'll also talk quickly about some of the stuff that the other projects you're likely to see starting yet this fall. But
Sure.
Piggly Wiggly is under construction. They've hired their contractor, they've pulled their permits, and they are working inside of the building. And over the next couple of months, we expect to see substantial progress. They're talking about being open early next year, but we do not have a solid date yet. The other projects that are likely to be starting are the Casey's service station and convenience
For our
store.
viewers that don't know about all these projects, could you mention what locations these are
Yeah,
at?
Casey's is going at the corner of Cranston Road and Show Pier. Obviously, the Piggly Wiggly store is a remodeling, a repurposing of the old Kmart building at Prairie and Show Pier. The Cherry Tree Assisted Living Facility is going on Cranston Road near the office complex there. And then the Qdoba, is it Qdoba?
Qdoba.
Qdoba. I apologize for that. I never quite get that one right. People tell me they're absolutely wonderful, but the new Qdoba restaurant, too, is supposed to break ground this
Well,
fall.
Larry hasn't been a college student in quite a while.
Yeah,
so
you can
for
tell how many years
all
it's
of our
been.
college students know
Know about Qdoba.
And that is an exciting project that is actually in a location that was once rumored to be the Bob Evans. And so
Right.
we've gotten a lot of, certainly that's a major location at Cranston and Milwaukee Road. And so we're excited. And
Oh, yeah.
that will be a build out. So there'll be additional retail space there too, correct?
Yeah, that's a fairly large building. The restaurant will anchor it, and then there'll be some additional retail space. As you indicated, this is the lot at the corner of Milwaukee and Cranston, probably one of the premier restaurant sites in the city, because you have both highway service and you're also immediately adjacent to all the city's residential neighborhoods. So this is a great location, and Bob Evans looked at it, actually spent quite a bit of money on plans, decided not to expand this far north, and Qdoba stepped up, and we're more than happy to get the site. So here we go.
And then one of the other projects that I think everyone has enjoyed watching, certainly our friends at Beloit College, the Phoenix project. Could you talk about that, where they're at in the process?
Yes, actually I had the opportunity about 2 weeks ago to tour it. It's a beautiful building. It's going to be gorgeous inside as it is outside. The top 3 floors are going to be residential, and those will be fairly high quality rental units. They will be built out to what they call an executive standard. And then of course the lower floor will be some kind of retail or service business. At the present time, I know they're talking to a couple of restaurants about the space, so they're hoping to get tenancies in there very quickly. I don't have a solid timeline yet. They're still looking at pretty much substantial completion by the end of October, which is about 4 weeks away now. So hopefully they'll be close to that timeline.
Sure. Well, Larry, I know you could speak all day about this, but we only have 5 minutes. Just a couple other things going on. Downtown First National Bank is working on a build out. And then also the Beloit Inn is going to be changing their name, and they've been rehabbing all of their units. So Beloit's doing well, right?
Beloit is doing extremely well. We've got all of these construction projects underway. There's also some industrial things that are happening now over in the Ironworks campus, and then there's a couple of other projects out in the east end of the city, in the Gateway area, that we are working with companies where nothing's yet been announced. So it's really been an incredible year. I'm very, very pleased to see this much commercial construction going on in the city. Not only is it helping to upgrade downtown and our city center shopping environment, but again, a lot more build out all over the city. You're seeing build out.
Well, Larry, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know you're jam-packed today to be on the show, and if people have more questions, I know that we posted a press release on our website, and you can always call the city and ask if you're curious about something that's going on.
Thank you, Beth. It's my pleasure.
Well, it must be fall because Norma Vargas is here with us again today to talk about Curbside Collection. I think when people see your face on the camera, they just go, oh yes, seasons have changed.
Yes, it's time for to talk about the leaves that are falling for the fall and our programs for both the leaf and the vacuum. We'll be running the program November the 4th through the 22nd, and that's for the free leaf and grass clippings collection. You do need your $1.50 sticker on your bundles. The bundles can't be more bigger than 4 foot long and 4 foot wide, but the branches can't be more than 4 inches in diameter.
Okay, so
Yeah, like about that, and about like that.
all right.
So it can fit in the truck. Now those do require the $1.50 sticker.
Okay.
But the stickers you can purchase at our facility here at DPW, 2351 Springbrook Court, at the City Hall Treasury Department downtown, Leisure Services, or Grinnell Hall.
Okay. And does that include, okay, the free collection includes bagged clippings.
Correct.
And leaves.
Correct.
But the bundles need the sticker.
Correct. The bundles of branches require the sticker.
Okay.
And we will collect them for 3 weeks, November 4th through the 22nd, on regular trash day. And you can bag your leaves and your grass clippings in a regular bag, no plastic bags.
No, okay, because that's not recycled.
Right.
So,
The other program that's running together is the leaf vacuum. That's where the people pay $100 for the 3 weeks, and they rake the leaves out to the curb, out to the terrace area. And then the leaf vacuum comes by and vacuums them up for 3 times, once a week, for 3 weeks.
okay, is that also in your regular trash day, or is that just random?
No, that when you come in, sign up for it, we give you a schedule.
Oh, okay.
It's a set schedule for that.
Okay. Can I just say that the train loves us?
Yes.
Because every time we're out here, we have to film around the train, if you can hear that in the background. Now, who should they call if they want to have their leaves vacuumed up?
They can come here at 2351 Springbrook Court, pay their subscription, then they go on the list and the schedule.
Okay, so don't call, come
Yes.
in person.
Come in person, because we can't put you on the list until you've paid your subscription.
And what are your hours?
We're here from Monday through Friday from 7 to 4.
Okay, so hopefully that works in with your schedule.
Yes.
And what else? Oh, let's talk about Leafland.
Okay, the Leafland Compost Center is available for the residents who don't want the city of Beloit to pick up their yard waste at the curb, but you'll have to understand Leafland Compost Center has a fee. So it's not a city entity. A lot of people think that they can just take it out there for free. It's not. You have to pay. It's a private company who runs the facility, so they do have their set fees.
Okay, and now we just wanted to briefly mention this calendar. They're already starting to work on next year's calendar.
I'm already starting to work on the next year's calendar, so I just want to remind the residents to watch for it. It'll come out on the first Sunday of the year. Every first Sunday of the year will be distributed through the State Line Shopping News, and they'll have it then. So I just want to remind the residents to look for it and save it. It's full of useful information, holidays, when we run our yard waste program. It has the rules and regulations about what to put out on the curb and when, and what we collect and what we don't.
Sure.
Yes.
Here's October, and it tells you all about the free
Yes.
yard waste collection, everything.
Yep.
It's kind of an invaluable tool to have
Correct.
for residents.
Correct.
And if you don't find it in your newspaper, you can probably stop out here and pick one up.
Pick one up at our facility or at the Treasury Department on the 2nd floor of City Hall.
Okay. Do you have
Okay.
anything else to add, Norma?
Everybody have a nice fall and happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.
She covered the bases.
Yes.
Thanks, Norma, for
You're
being with us.
welcome.
Hi, I'm here at Riverside Park with Andy Hill. He's a project engineer for the city. We've interviewed Andy before with solar panels, I remember.
Sure.
Pam and I learned a lot. And we're here today to learn about shoreline stabilization. So you may have seen the work that was done down by the Broad Street Bridge and
Right around the post office.
right in south of the dam, and now we're on the north end of Riverside Drive. And Andy's going to tell us about the shoreline stabilization. So let's first talk about who pays for it, because that's what everyone always wants to know.
Exactly. Beth, in 2008, there was a pretty significant flood that came through the city. we applied for an emergency flood grant, and we received money to stabilize the shoreline in many places along the river where it needed to be strengthened. And so this current phase of the project, which is our third major phase of the spending of that grant money, is going to be about $507,000, and it extends from the Turtle Creek Playground, or the Turtle Island Playground, all the way up to the Hendricks Bridge.
And I'm sure you've seen a lot of the construction because it's so visible from Riverside Drive. There's boats in the water, and there's lots of bobcats behind us. Now, some people were upset because they felt like we were interfering with wildlife. Can you talk about the different phases of the project?
What we have is three different sections of restoration that we're going to do. We're going to have something that's very similar that you see here at Midlawn Shelters, where we have native plants. These draw in butterflies. The plants have roots that grow very deep into the soil, and they anchor the soil just as plants do. Then we have sections where we're going to be using riprap, which is basically basketball-sized rocks, and we've built those out around the trees. Our objective was to save all of the existing trees. So we've built the bank out to protect those roots and keep them there. And then the third section we have is for the park patrons to have access to the waterfront. And these vista sections will utilize large limestone boulders right down at the water's edge with nice grass growing right up to the water's edge so that people can get down and they can enjoy the water and they'll be able to see the river.
And when the flood occurred, what happened was it damaged the banks, right? And it actually caused the compromise of many trees.
It did. Beth, I took a look at some aerial photographs from 1980, and I was able to conclude that in those 30 years, we have lost anywhere from 5 to 10 feet of the shoreline in Riverside Park. Some of that we're reclaiming. The remainder of it, we're stabilizing and making sure that we don't lose any more of that land to erosion.
And so what FEMA does was sometimes they come in and help you with the disaster recovery, but this is really mitigation to mitigate future problems should we have another flood, because it seems like we have a flood every year, right?
Right.
So what you see here is, and then can you talk about why there's boats in the water and people see, what are they seeing?
They're seeing out there what we call a turbidity curtain. The black edge that is floating in the water keeps any sediment that goes into the water during the construction process from making the water cloudy, because that's not healthy for the fish and the wildlife. So after they've actually constructed the riprap and they have put the materials in the shoreline, then they can advance that turbidity carrier down and advance with construction.
And then that protects the river and the wildlife.
Exactly.
So this project is very, it's friendly to our environment, it's friendly to the ecosystem in the river, and so for the people that think that perhaps behind us, I'm sure that you can see some mud and things, we're actually trying to restore it and keep it sustainable for a long time in the future to come, correct?
Yeah, the mud is only because it rained an hour ago. We've actually had some very dry weather.
Sure.
But there's no need to worry. The river is completely protected by the riprap and by the fabric. You may see that there is a black, heavy textured fabric underneath that rock that keeps all of the sediment contained on the shoreline and doesn't allow any of that to flow into the river.
Well, I know that we've gotten a lot of questions at City Hall, and you've given us some big words to look up. Maybe we need to have a vocab section, but this is very helpful to know, and this is the last stage of the project, correct?
This is the last phase.
And it will be done by the winter?
Yes, we expect them to finish up within a few weeks. Restoration should come very quickly, and then we'll see the seeds of the native plants planted, and it'll be protected by some orange snow fencing during its growth period.
Sure. So if you're down here, you can always enjoy the riverfront, enjoy the plants, and you can actually come right up to the river. But be careful as always. So Andy, thank you, and
Thank you,
I appreciate
Beth.
it.
Hi, I'm Linda from Visit Beloit. Events have slowed down for the summer season, but there are still fun things to do in Beloit. The Beloit Farmers Market still has a few weeks left in their season. Stop by State and Grand in downtown Beloit for mums, pumpkins, gourds, and apples, which are abundant this year. Come out for the Halloween costume parade and party on October 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. during the Farmers Market. Dress up and join the fun. The Fall Harvest Fest will be taking place at Beckman Mill on October 13th. Beckman Mill has guided tours every Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. through the end of October. Beckman Mill is one of Wisconsin's only working restored grist mills located in beautiful Beckman Mill County Park. Fifth year-round will be showing movies every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. at Bushel and Peck's in downtown Beloit. Each time you watch a movie, you will be able to give your feedback and help decide which movies will be shown at the Beloit International Film Festival in February. The Beloit Janesville Symphony will present Heavenly Strings on October 19th at Eaton Chapel. This concert will feature classic string masterpieces. Doves and Diamonds is an elegant fundraiser for the Beloit Regional Hospice and will take place October 26th at the Eclipse Center. Tickets go quickly, so make your reservations soon. Weekly trivia takes place on Wednesday nights at the Rock Bar and Grill and Thursday nights at Bushel and Peck's. There's also live music almost every night of the week in Beloit, so please visit our website at visitbeloit.com to find out more about the live music and all the other fun things to do in Beloit.
Pam, what are you doing?
Just a minute. I'm looking up turbidity with a B.
Oh yes, Andy's vocab word of the day.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I will continue that later.
Well, we are wrapping up the October edition of the Beloit Today Show, and we had a lot of information to take in as usual.
Yes, and so we were in Nate Dupree's office, and tell our viewers where we are now.
We are at City Hall. This is where Pam and I work every day. This is my office, and Pam and I, well, we can yell to each other. She's just right behind the camera, so we thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys where we work.
Yep, 4th floor, City Hall.
Yep.
Great view.
And I have a lot of very important documents in here.
Right.
So we, as always, want to thank our staff for letting us interview them, and our support staff for helping us film and deal with the rain again.
Yes. We either have hot sun or rain, but we always have a train.
And
Always.
a train, right.
Yes.
So make sure that if you're a resident, that you are prepared for fall leaf collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the leaves will be falling soon. I saw that they were changing already.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And we didn't interview anybody from the police department, but I just thought maybe we should mention trick-or-treat hours are set by the kind of police department 5 to 7 p.m. on the 31st.
And we will post that on Facebook and everything else. So check our website, check our Facebook, and stay tuned for next month.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Have a happy October.